Assalamu alaikum wa ahlan wa sahlan bikum. My name is Imtiaz. Welcome back to another lesson. In this lesson, we're going to go through and look at plural nouns. So, what is a noun? As we covered in the previous few lessons, a noun is a word that indicates a meaning that is not associated with time. Okay, it's a word that refers to a person, thing, event, substance, or quality. And nouns in English are either singular or plural. Okay, so here we got singular, which is book, and then we have books. And to indicate a noun is plural, we add a suffix to the end of the noun. In English, the different types of suffixes are applied. We've just covered the S, which is for books, ideas, letters. Okay, and then we also have ES, which is boxes and churches, and these are attached to certain words. Then we have some irregularities, such as man becomes men. Okay, so the examples, we've got pen, which has got the S. Then we have boxes, which has got ES. And then we have some words where before the ES can be added, the letter before it must be doubled. So here we've got quizzes. Okay, so a feature of the Arabic language is that its nouns, adjectives and verbs have three cases or numbers. The first one is singular, which is mufrad, which refers to one item. Then we have dual, which is called muthanna, which is two only. And then we have plural, which is jama'a, which is 2 plus. So singular is mufrad, muthanna and jama'a. Okay, so in the singular noun in Arabic, we indicate there is only one of something by using the singular form of the noun. So here, and that can be either masculine or feminine. So if we look at this example here, so we've got muhandis, which is an engineer. We're talking about a male engineer. Okay. Then we have mudarrisa, and that is a female teacher. And we know it's female or feminine because the word noun ends with the ta marbuta. And if you need more information on masculine and feminine nouns, please refer to the lesson on gender. Then we have la'ibun, which is a player. So muhandisun, mudarrisatun, la'ibun. Then we have the dual. So in Arabic, we indicate there is only two of something by using the dual form. So like in English, we say 2 pens. We can't say 2 pens in Arabic. Yeah, we have to say, we use the word for two. So there's a word for 2 pens. And the way we indicate that word is in the dual form is we add the suffix alif noon to the end. So if we go with the previous example where we had muhandis, which was an engineer, when we say there's 2 engineers, we will say muhandisan. So we'll take the singular form of the word and add alif noon to the end. So muhandisan. So here is 2 engineers. Then we have same one, mudarrisa, was the feminine word. Now what we have to do here is we have to change the ta marbuta to a normal ta first, and then add alif noon, mudarrisatan here, so which is 2 teachers. Then we have la'ib, which was a player. So again we add alif noon to the end, it becomes la'iban. So this is your 2 players. So muhandisan, mudarrisatan, la'iban. So that is your dual form of the Arabic nouns. Then we have the plural noun, which is called al-jama'. So plurals in Arabic always refer to more than more things. Okay, all plural nouns are classified into 2 categories. The first one is jama' salim, which is called the sound plural, and then we have jama' at-taqsir, which is the broken plural. The sound plural is basically like the English nouns, plurals, where a suffix is added to the end of the noun. So we have books and then coaches. In Arabic sound plurals, we add a suffix to the end of the masculine or feminine word. And these sound plurals are mainly used for profession, but not exclusively. So when we have masculine words, we add either the wa noon or the ya noon. And for the feminine, we add alif ta to the end of the noun. Okay, but that's just for the plurals. The broken plural is very much like the irregular English plural, where we saw man becomes men. Okay, and the reason it's called broken plural is because the letters are broken apart to the root letters, and then long and short vowels are arranged around the root letters. So the first one is the sound plural. The sound plural, like we covered, we had two cases. We had the masculine and the feminine. So the masculine is called Jama' al-Mudhakkar, and that's formed by adding the waw noon to the nominative case. The nominative case is the one we're going to be covering in this lesson. And then also changes to a ya noon in the accusative and genitive cases. If you need more information on this, I covered this in detail in the previous lesson. So, and it's used again just for professions, mainly for professions. The feminine plural is formed by adding the alif ta to the end of the singular noun. And if the word ends in a ta marbuta, then this must be removed first before you can add the alif ta to the alif ta to the end of the noun. And again, this is used for professions, but also for other words and verbal nouns. Okay, so what we'll do is go through each one. I'll show you a few examples for each one of these, so you can get understanding, and then we'll go through and cover the broken plurals. So the first one is the masculine plural. So Jama' Mudhakkar is formed by adding the waw noon for the nominative case. Okay, and changes to the ya noon in accusative and genitive case. Again, like I said, covers male professions. So if we go through this one, we say mudarris, which is a teacher. And actually, what I'd like you to do is when I do each one of these images, try and read the Arabic yourself before I show you the transliteration. It'll be a good chance for you to practice as well. Okay, so mudarris, which is a teacher. So when we add the suffix, we'll take the singular form. Okay, change the last one to show that something's going to be joined onto it, and then we add the waw noon to the end, mudarris, and then waw noon becomes mudarrisun, which is teachers. Okay, next one is najjar, which is a carpenter. So again, what we're going to do is we take najjar and then we add the waw noon to the end and equals najjarun, which is carpenters. Okay, next one is we've got muhandis. We covered this earlier on. Muhandis, engineer. So here we're going to stick muhandis, add the waw noon, yeah, becomes muhandisun, which is engineers. Then we have la'ib, which is a player. So we take la'ib plus the waw noon equals la'ibun, okay, which is players. So muhandisun and la'ibun. Then we have Misri, which is Egyptian. So we take Misri and change the ya to show that something's going to be joined onto it, and then we add the waw noon and equals Misriyun, which is Egyptians. Next one we have Tabakh, which is a chef. So Tabakh plus the waw noon is tabakhun, okay, which is chefs. Next one we have mufakkir, which is a thinker. So mufakkir plus waw noon, mufakkirun, okay, mufakkirun, these thinkers. Next one we have mutarjim, which is a translator. So we take mutarjim, add the waw noon, and it becomes mutarjimun, which is translators. Okay, so that was your masculine plural. Well, let's look at some examples on the feminine. So Jama Mu'annath. Jama Mu'annath we formed by adding the alif ta to the end of the singular noun. And like I mentioned before, if the word ends in a ta marbuta, then this must be first removed before you can add the alif ta to the end. Again, it's used for professions and other words as well. So let's look at the first one. We have mudarrisa, which is a teacher. So what we'll do here, we'll say mudarrisa, and then we take away the ta marbuta. So this is mudarrisa on its own. So what we do is we remove the ta marbuta, and then we add the alif ta to the end. So it's mudarrisat, okay, which is teachers. Next one is tabiba, so we have, which is a doctor, female doctor, and then we have tabiba plus the ta marbuta. So we remove the ta marbuta and then add the alif ta. So it goes tabibat, which is doctors, female doctors. Next one, we have taliba, which is student. Same again, talib, we got the ta marbuta, take the ta marbuta off, and we have talibat, which is female students. Next one is tawila, which is table. Same here, tawila, we remove the ta marbuta and then we add alif ta. So here we got tawilat, which is tables. Next one we have sa'a, which is a clock or hour. So we take sa'a plus the ta and the ta marbuta, we remove the ta marbuta and then we add the alif ta to create sa'at, which is clocks or hours. Next one we have qurra, which is ball. So again we say qurra, we have ta marbuta, we remove the ta marbuta, add alif ta, we get qurat, okay. Then we have mutarjima, which was the translator. So this is again we take mutarjima, the ta marbuta we take off, we then add alif ta and we get mutarjimat, which is translators. Then we have muslima, which is Muslim, a female Muslim. So we have muslima, the ta marbuta comes off and then we add the alif ta, becomes muslimat, okay. So that is your feminine plurals, mutarjimat and muslimat. Now we do have some words that don't end with ta marbuta. So here we've got milaf, which is a file. So here we just add the alif ta because there is no ta marbuta. So your milaf plus alif ta equals milafat. And then we have another one. We've got islah, which is reform. Islah plus the alif ta equals islahat. Okay, so that is reforms. Okay, so that was your masculine and feminine sound plurals, which was really, because there's only one rule, which is that you add the suffix of waw noon or ya noon on the masculine and alif ta to the feminine. Next we'll cover is the broken plurals. Now these are slightly more complicated than the others, but these are more common. And the only way you can learn these really is by learning the words, to be honest. So if we look at this, the Jama' Taksir, which is the broken plural, the majority of plurals in Arabic are broken plurals. So like the irregular English plural man becomes men. What happens is root letters are identified in the singular noun. So here we've got the word walad, okay. So we identify, so here we can see waw is a root letter, then lam is a root letter, and then the dal is a root letter. So we identify the root letters, And then what happens is it's called broken plurals because these three letters are broken apart. So they're called broken because once the root letters have been identified, then the singular is broken apart. So here you can see it's now we've identified the three root letters. And then what happens is different long and short vowels are used with the three root consonants, and these letters are added to the or around the root letters, okay, based on the pattern used. So here you can see these are your root letters and these are the vowels that have been added in. Okay, so the stem of the singular is broken by shifting the consonant to different vowel patterns. So the structure of the will changes. So if I show you a few examples, here we go. A mufrad mudhakkar, which is the masculine singular, and then what we'll do is we'll identify the root consonants and then the jama taksir. Okay, so we've got the word walad, and what will happen is we will identify first the root letters, which is the waw, lam and dal, and then what happens is a pattern is applied, and then the vowels are put around those three root letters. Okay, so here you can see it's awlad. Next one is rajul. So rajul, so there's only three letters there, so they've got to be the root ones, or ra, jim and lam, and then here rijal. Okay, you see this one's totally different to this. And then we have bait, which is ba ya ta, again three letters, becomes buyut. Again, this is different. So the first one is awlad, rijal and buyut. So there doesn't seem to be any real pattern to all of these, but there actually is. And I think it's far easier, rather than trying to remember the patterns, is to actually learn as you learn your vocabulary, you will learn the new words. Okay, but what I'm going to do now is go through each one of these different patterns and explain how they work. Okay, so the broken plural patterns, what we'll do is we'll go through these. So there are 8+ patterns that are used with the three root consonants. Okay, and so what is each pattern consists of two things. The first one is your consonants. So here, wherever we've identified a root letter, that will be a consonant. So here, waw is a consonant, the lam is a consonant, and the dal is a consonant. Okay, and then what happens is the vowels are long and short vowels are placed around the root letters. So here you can see there's a alif and an alif added there, but there's also this added here. So here that becomes a vowel, and then a vowel here, short vowel, and then the long vowel. Okay, and the vowels change based on the pattern that is used. And to better understand, we can use the following to help understand how to pronounce the letters correctly. So here we're going to use in the examples coming up. I'm going to use these patterns to show you how the pronunciation and the patterns work. So here we've got fatha. Where there's a fatha, it's going to be an a, and then long vowel. Then kasra, we're going to use I, and then dhamma, we're going to use u. Okay, so if we take this example here, okay, we've got a alif here. So what we're going to do is we're going to change that for an a, and this one, there's a kasra there, that's fatha, sorry, there, that's also going to be an a, because this awlad, the word awlad, the alif is part of the word. Okay, so awlad, so here, and then we've got this one, long vowel, which is a. Okay, so then when we come to read this, so in this is the pattern that's going to be used, but when we read it in Arabic, we're going to go backwards. So when we read in English, we will take it the other way around. So it's a, c, c, a, c, which becomes awlad. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each one of these patterns. I'm going to show you how we're going to identify the root letters, and then I'll show you how the pattern works. Okay, so here we go. Pattern number 1. So the first one is a, c, c, a, which is af'al. So this is where we take a short a is added before the first root letter, and then a long a, which is here, first a, and then we've got a long a, which is between the second and third. So the second, so here we're going to add here, alif here. Okay, so the first example is walad, which is a boy, walad. we find the root letters. We know there's only three, so that's waw, lam, and dal. Okay, and then we're going to add in the above. Okay, so that we know the first letter is going to be an alif, and then we're going to have waw, lam, and then an alif, and then a dal. So here becomes awlad. So here you can see awlad. So A, C, C, A, C. Okay, if you try and read it in the same way, you'll see how it starts to match. Okay, next one is zoj, which is husband. So we know there's only three letters, z, waw, and jim. So same thing again. We're going to start with an alif, and then alif, and then add in the same as above. Okay, so here we've got azwaj. Okay, so we've got azwaj. So A, C, C, A, azwaj. Okay, I hope this is making sense. Next one, we have a qalam, which is a pen. So again, we've got three root letters, qaf, lam, and mim. And then we're going to add in the same rule as before. So it's going to start with an alif, then we have a qaf, and then a lam, and then an alif, and then a mim. So aqlam. Okay, so that is pattern number 1. Okay, if you're not sure, just go through it a few times. You'll get the hang of this. And all of the examples that we're going to go through, the patterns follow a similar rule. So each pattern has a rule which is there, and then we just basically apply the same rule to every word. Now the thing is, you don't know which words use which patterns. So the best way to learn is to improve your vocabulary, and as you learn the words, you will understand which ones are right. Okay, but by doing this exercise, you'll understand which pattern it is. Okay, so the next one is pattern number 2. So here we've got a consonant and a damma, you, consonant, damma, you. So for all. So this one is your first one, fa, then the damma, then the ain, then the damma, then the long vowel, and then the lam consonant. Okay, so add a short damma on the first root and a long between the second and third consonant. So here, first example is qalb, which is heart, and then we'll say the root letters is qaf, lam, and ba. So when we add this, we're going to have a qaf with a damma, then the lam with the damma, and then a waw, and then a ba. So here we go, qulub, okay, which is hearts. Next one is dars, which is dars. So again, the root letters are dal, ra, and sin. And when we make it jama taqsir, it's going to be dal with the damma, ra with the damma, then we're going to put a waw, and then the sin. So we have durus. Okay, next one is bait. So again, we've got three root letters, ba, ya, and ta. Okay, so we can have ba with the damma, like this, yeah, a ya with the damma, a waw, and then a ta. Okay, so that is what the pattern is saying, so we have to follow that. So here it'll be buyut, which is houses. Okay, so qalb becomes qulub, dars becomes durus, bait becomes buyut. Okay, so qulub, durus, buyut. Okay, let's look at pattern number 3. Pattern number 3 is you got your consonant, then you have a I, which we said was a kasra, then we have a consonant, then we have a, which is your fatha, and then a consonant. So here, first one is your consonant, which is fa, then it's got the I, which is the kasra, then we've got the consonant, which is ain, then we've got a fatha, which is that one, and then the alif, which is there, and then the lam, fi'al. So again, so let's look at these examples. So we've got jabal, which is mountain, and then we find the root letters, which is jim, ba, and lam. So we're going to apply the same rules as above. So we've got the Jim, then we'll have a kasra, G, then we've got the B, Ba, we'll have a fatha, G, Ba, and then we'll put an alif in the middle, and then the lam. So it'll be Jibal, Jibal. Next one, we have Balad, Balad, which is country. So we have Ba, Lam and Dal. So here we're going to do Ba with the kasra, it becomes B. Lam with the fatha, Bila. Then we put the alif and then the dal. So it becomes Bilad, Bilad, which is countries. Next one, we have Tawil, Tawil. So here we've actually got 4. So Tawil, so the root letters are Ta, Wa, and Lam. Okay, so the Ta will have the kasra, Ti, Wa will have the fatha, Wa, Tiwa. Then we put the alif and then we do the lam. So here Tiwal, Tiwal. Okay, which is your, so we got Jibal, Bilad, Tiwal. Okay, so that's pattern number 3. Pattern number 4. So here we've got your consonant, then we've got a damma, a consonant, then we've got a damma, then consonant. So here fu'ul, fu'ul. Okay, so if we look at this first one, is we've got kitab, kitab, which is a book. So kitab, the root letters are kaf, ta, and ba. So what we're going to do is the same thing up there as a kaf with the damma, ku, ta with the damma, bu, tu, kutu, and the ba as it is. So it'll be kutub, kutub. Okay, for all. So this is kutub, which is books. Next one is jadid, jadid, which is new. So the root letters are jim, dal, and dal. So here we're going to do jim with the damma is ju, dal with the damma is judu, and then dal, which is judud, which is new. So tariq. Okay, so the root letters are ta, ra, and qaf. Okay, so here again we're going to do ta with the damma is tu, ra with damma is ru, and qaf, turuq. Yeah, tariq, turuq. Okay, so we've got kutub, judud, judud, sorry, and turuq. Okay, so that is pattern number 4. Next one we have pattern number 5, which is fatha or alif, and then a consonant, a damma, and the consonant. So look at the example. Af'al, af'ul, af'ul, sorry. So we've got shahr, shahr, which is month. So here we're going to put an alif at the beginning, which is ash, us, and then the sheen is going to have a sukun on it, ash, and then ain will have the damma, sorry, the ha will have damma with ashhur and the ra. So ashhur, ashhur, okay, which is months. Next one is rishl, which is leg. We have the ra, jim, and lam. So here we're going to have alif with the fatah, so r. The ra is going to have a sukun, and then the jim will have the damma. So it'll be arjul, arjul. Next one we have is nahr, nahr, which is river. So same thing, we've got noon, ha, and ra. So here we're going to put an alif at the beginning, and then the noon is going to have a sukun, and the ha will have the damma and the ra. So anhur, anhur. Okay, so that's ashhur, arjul, anhur. Okay, next pattern number 6, we have a consonant, and then have a damma, and then a consonant, and then we have a fatha, then a consonant, and then a fatha at the end, and then we have this apostrophe which indicates there should be a hamza at the end. So here fu'ala, fu'ala. Okay, so here first example, sorry, is alim, alim. So what we're going to do here is identify ayn, lam, and mim. So the ayn will have the dhamma is u, the lam will have the fatha, which is ula, and the mim will have the alif added to the end and the hamza. So here becomes ulama, ulama. Okay, next one is wazir, wazir. So same, we've got wa, za, and ra. So this is going to have a dhamma, wu. Za is going to have the fatha, wuza. Ra is going to be as is, and then we have the alif and the hamza at the end. So we have wuzara, wuzara. Okay, and you can see again here, you can see the same pattern. The u is the u, then the consonant, then the fatha, then the consonant, then the two. So it's the same pattern up there that ends up in here. So same here. Okay, next one is zamil, zamil, which is colleague. So here we can have za, mim, and the lam. Okay, so the za is going to have the dhamma, and then the mim is going to have the fatha, the zama, and then the lam we're going to have alif and hamza. So zumala, zumala. Okay, so we've got pattern 7. So here we've got we'll start with then we've got so pattern 7, we've got the fatha or the o alif, and then we've got the consonant, consonant, and then we've got kasra, consonant, and then the alif and the fatha. Okay, so here we look at the word sadiq, sadiq. So we split it, we've got sod, dal, and qaf. Okay, so what we're going to do is look at this example here. So the first one is going to be the alif with the fatha, then the sod is going to have the sukun, os, then the next one is ayn, so dal is going to have a kasra, is asdi, and then the qaf will have the fatha, alif, and then the hamza. So asdiqa, asdiqa, which is friends. Next one is qarib, qarib, which is near. So here we're going to have the alif, so with the fatha, alif, then the qaf with the sukun, aq, then the ra will have a kasra, aqri, and then the ba will have a fatha, alif, and the hamza, aqriba, aqriba. Okay, then we have tabib, tabib, which is a doctor. So here we've got ta, and ba, and ba. Okay, same rule here, we're going to have the alif at the beginning, then and this one actually is different. The word is same rule, but it's got atibba, atibba, and the ba, I think is because there's two bars, it turns into a shadda, but the rule, there's the rule still applies. So this is atibba. Okay. Okay, so pattern 8 here we have got a consonant, then we have a dhamma, consonant, consonant, fatha, fatha, and the consonant. So here we can see it's fu'al. So you can see a shadda on the second consonant with the fatha on the top. So yes, fu'al. So if we look at some examples, the first one is talib, talib, which is student. So the root letters are ta, lam, and ba. So the first letter is ta, will have a dhamma in it, which is tu. The lam will have the shadda and the fatha, tulla, and then the alif at the end. So here tulla, and then alif, and then the ba. So it will be tullab. Tullab, which is students. The next one is tajir, tajir, so which is merchant. So we have ta, jim, and ra. The ta will have the dhamma, and then the jim will have the shadda and the fatha, tujjar, then the alif, and then the ra. So tujjar, tujjar. Okay, next one we have is amil, amil, which is a worker. So the root letters are Ayn, Mim and Lam. So here Ayn will have the Dhamma, Mim will have the Shadda and the Fatha, Umma, then the Alif, and then the Lam. Ummal, Ummal. Okay, so that's Tullab, Tujar, and Ummal. Okay, so that is the plural nouns. Apologies, it's quite heavy, but if you go through, I will post another video with the lots of examples of each pattern. So we'll do the singular and the plural. In the next lesson, we're going to go through and look at the personal pronouns. And if you've liked the lesson and you feel someone can benefit, then please like, share and subscribe to our channel. And if you go to the Easy Arabic website, easyarabic.co.uk, you can actually find the lesson files accompanying this lesson. So you can actually have practice exercises and stuff. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Inshallah, see you soon. Fi amanillah. Assalamu alaikum.